My name is Yul Sadang. I have chosen the Muslim name Mustafa. So some of my Muslim friends will call me Mustafa, and the old friends will call me the same, Yul Sadang, or Yul for short. Now, if I were to count, I would say I've been a Muslim maybe now 2 years as a Muslim, practicing Muslim, because it started when I was in college. I think before college, I was already doing the research myself. So how it happened, the time, it was an election time in the Philippines. They call it local elections, where people will elect their local officials. So the mayor of our town, our city, had asked me to run under their party. So I was saying maybe I was 24. So I have no choice that time because my family relies on the politicians as well at the time. So they told me to run. So because of that, I met my auntie who happens to be a Muslim. So when he saw my billboards, like Yul Sadang is running for councilor, so he said that Sadang is a Muslim family. So he tried to trace my address. So the people said that his headquarters is in this location. So he went there at night, and he introduced myself to my father. He said, "Are you the one running for councilor?" "No, it is my son." So, "Is he coming today?" He said, "Yes, but after the campaign he will come." So at the time when I came, because I was really busy. It was a campaign period. So I said, "Yes, what can I do for you, Mom?" I said, "I am your auntie." I said, "Auntie? Are you Sadang?" Then he said, "No, it was I think it was her mom's family name." So he said, "How come you're a Christian?" Then I said, "How come you're a Muslim?" "Because we are Christians." "No, the Sadang are Muslim family." I said, "Really?" Then it follows that he was asking my father, and I think my father, because I wasn't there yet at that time when she came, so she was asking my father like, "How is the counselor? Is he Roman Catholic?" Then my father said that we used to be Roman Catholic, and then we were converted to a born-again Christian. Because the Roman Catholic, we have statue in the churches. Becoming a born-again Christian is like a Muslim. Ladies are not allowed to wear short skirts. Ladies are required to wear up to the knee, and then they're not allowed to wear trousers. It has to be long skirts, and you cannot display your cleavage. It has to be closed. So it's like a Muslim practice. It's basically in the church, you don't see any statue of Mariam or Saint Joseph or Prophet Isa. So it's a little bit very different. So he said, "Oh, since you are educated in the Bible, in the Holy Bible, you might be interested to become a Muslim once you read this pamphlet." Then she advised me to go to a mosque. That's the Quiapo Mosque, very popular Quiapo Mosque in the city of Manila, so where you can have so many Islamic books. So secretly, I went there because I know my father will not allow me to become a Muslim, and even my mom. They will not really agree to that. Because from Roman Catholic to become a Muslim, to become a born-again Christian, I was already persecuted by my family. So I ran away from them because of the persecution. So when I eat, they put a salt on when I pray like that, I close my eyes, then I started to eat, they put salt on my rice, just to bully me, just to, because they cannot accept me becoming a born-again Christian. Until my sister firmly, really, she really followed the born-again Christian practice. So until they get converted, all the family were converted, basically because my sister is the breadwinner in the family. So they have no choice. So because, my sister is the one very helpful for the family at that time. And then, so becoming again a Muslim will be too difficult for me. I said, how can I pursue with my college education? Because my mom, I will be depending on them, though I have my state scholarship in the Philippines. So I said, I will still need them to finance me with the transport, with the food allowance and everything, the uniform. So I said, I have to hide it. So one day, I said to my father, Dad, I want to watch a movie. Then he gave me some money because believing that I will watch a movie. But instead, I needed the money to go for a transport to go to Quiapo Mosque to get really that pamphlet because I was so curious about it. So when I get hold of it, I went to the toilet because they might see me reading other books, very strange for them. So I was reading in the toilet. And then while I'm reading it, I realized that there were not just one mistakes in the Bible. It was so many. Chapters per chapters per chapter. I said, if the Bible is written by God, and the one who wrote it, behind him is the Holy Spirit, dictating him what he will write on the book. And if there's a mistake, I said, there's a plagiarism in the article itself. Who plagiarized? Is it St. John or St. Paul? So there was already confusion in my mind. I said, then if the book is not genuine, then how can I believe it? Then my auntie came back to me and said, if you will require the real book that is closer to God, you go again to the Quiapo Mosque and look for the Quran. It is the holy book, almost same as the Bible. But since it's written in Arabic, but there's a translation to that you would understand. So secretly, I would say again, Dad, I want to watch a movie. Please, I need some money to transport. So I will go again and take the Quran, and I will put the Quran on our ceiling of the toilet, because in the toilet, there's an opening box where you can conceal some books. So I said, if I will put the Quran under the bed, the housemaid will find it out, and I will be screwed up, and my father will get angry with me, and my mom. And there will be again persecution. So I said, oh my God, this will be again another persecution once they found out. So I conceal it inside the ceiling. So when you push the box, it is covered. So nobody will understand that there's a book there. So when I go to the toilet, which is not allowed, I realize it's not allowed for Islam to put any holy thing in the toilet. So I was reading it in the toilet. So until I couldn't hide it, because I met some Pakistani making the dawah there. So I really wanted to, use the clothes, something like that. But I don't have the freedom to do it because I said I might be noticed and somebody might told my dad that, these are the things. Especially already the people, they recognize me already because I ran for that election. So secretly, I am actually taking that but I never take the Shahada. I have the desire, but I don't want to practice it yet because there are some confusions that I couldn't accept. Because if you've been living in the religion, which when you woke up, it's really the religion that you have acquired, and there's a new religion that was introduced to you differently, it's really very hard to accept or to swallow right away. So little by little, I came to understand. I said, if this is the right book, then I should abide by it. But at that time, there's no one to guide me what to do. And until when I reached college and I got my first job, I did not practice at all. And it was like I lost it. I lost the desire. I never had the chance to really go to the mosque and seek myself. And, maybe look at your soul, looking back at the past, something like that. So I said, what shall I do? So it came to me that it was like, sometimes you couldn't accept reality. That it's like when you accept one reality, it's like you look back, you miss so many things. I said, oh my God, had I converted at that time, I should have earned so many rewards already, by going to the Salah or those things that I missed. And then, I don't know, it was maybe maybe from Allah that He brought me to the Middle East. And He drew me nearer to Him, which I never had dream of, becoming a Muslim and becoming near to Him. it was like a grace for me. When I remember those things, it gives me like, I feel guilty of not having it. It was almost on my hand, but I did not take it straight away. I missed opportunities. I missed so many things that I did not practice. So when I came here, I said, I will cry. But I couldn't go to the mosque. I said, there's a purpose why I was brought here. And then when I was working already, still I wasn't been able to practice the Islam because I was having a good salary and I was like enjoying everything and all the stuff. And then the greatness there is that, Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah, the greatness there that Allah had did to me was, I don't want to say that He punished me, but I do acknowledge that He brought me to the right path by giving me so many challenges. And there was a time that my niece and my nephew, whom I have spent so much of my money, way back when I was still having a good salary, they didn't even come back to me and said, Uncle, you don't have to eat in Bahrain. I want to help you back. And nobody cares. And then it was my friends who were actually feeding me, and when I lost my job and all that stuff. And then one day, I said, why not go back to God and say, hear my prayers. Please, lift me up. So somebody told me, you have to pray, brother, you have to pray. But I couldn't go back to the religion where I was raised, to be a born-again Christian. There are so many born-again Christians who would invite me to a prayer meeting, and then I couldn't go and say, no, why should I go back to them? I know there's already a true religion. Why should I seek the true religion then? Why should I not go to the mosque and ask somebody else there? But I was like shy to ask some people. But when I go to the mosque, I said, I want to learn the prayer. I was just imitating them, but not really knowing what has to be uttered on the mosque. So when there is a Ramadan, I do the fasting as well, but I don't know the timings. So somebody will tell me, this is the timing. So, and then when I finally got converted, they said, no, brother, those things that you have fast is not valid because it is not the right way to do the fasting. So you really have to do the procedure. There's a procedure that you have to follow, not just to do the fasting and that's it. Or not just to go to the mosque and that's it. There is a procedure where you have to learn. And it's where the Islam awareness play a very big role to my life. I don't know, it was just an accident because when I was in Hid, I met this Filipino guy doing the dawah, and I said, brother, I am interested to learn the Muslim, something like that, because he will speak the same language. And unfortunately, he straight away, I said, do you know what about Islam? Yes, I have been doing the research myself, but nobody will guide me how to do it. I said, come. So straight away, he took me to the masjid and he let me to take the shahada, and I was like scared. And so they let me to make the shahada. And I think there were some brothers from Islam Awareness who actually will have some Filipino also who will do the dawah there. So they took me there, and I just followed them. And they told me that if I want, you can go to the Islam Awareness for, to learn more about Islam. And Alhamdulillah, I can say confidently that I know how to do the salah. And when I am not, sometimes when you drink with the left hand. I said, I remember, you have to drink by the right hand. Or when you go to the toilet, you have to step the left hand, the left feet. Or when you go to the masjid, you have to step the right feet. So those things, alhamdulillah, those things is now because when you practice it, you become used to it, and it becomes a habit, and it's for you. It's like spontaneously it comes naturally. So these are the things that I have learned from Islam awareness, and I was very thankful because the time that was last year when they had the chance to sponsor some brothers and sisters for the Umrah. I was lucky to be one of those who got the opportunity to go to Makkah for the Umrah. So it was the first blessings. And then I keep on continuing practicing the Islam. And just one day, a very good job offer came to me. Then I realized, I said, God indeed is really great. I was not expecting that I can be, that I will be lifted up again from the rugs and, from the mud, something like that. And it was just given to me. It was a blessing that I never really expected. But I was always pray to Allah. When I do the salah, I said, Allah, if I have a mission, what is it that I have to do? There is really a reason behind why I was given again the second chance to have a good job. But I never thought that I will have. I was thinking of maybe I will go to the jail eventually, something like that. It was, it's imaginable. And I said, God has really given me something that I can. I remember what He did to Ibrahim. He said that I promise you to be, when I remember the story of Ibrahim, of believing in Allah and keeping the promise of Allah, he never knew that he will be a father of great nations. He was promised. He said, I will make you the father of great nations because of what you did to me. And he said, how can that be? I'm already old. My wife, Sarah, is already old and she cannot bear a baby. But by miracle, it came to, the baby came into Sarah. But it was too late because I think Sarah at that time doubted what was promised to Ibrahim by Allah. He said, I'm already old. How can that be? So what she did, she arranged. That was the understanding that I have when I was a Christian. That Sarah, when she doubted, that's really, how can my husband become a father of great nations and a king will come from his blood or from his generation if I'm already old? So she arranged Hagar to marry the prophet and to make baby, and that was Ismail. So these things, when I remember that, I said the same thing happened to me, that I was given the second chance. I never knew that it will happen. But when Allah planned it, and you were given this destiny, then you cannot change it. You cannot change the course of history. It shall happen. So I said to myself, maybe there's a purpose why I was given that opportunity. Maybe to see again my family. So I said, maybe there's a purpose. Once you become a Muslim, you already lost all the fears that you have in your heart. The fear. You already free from fear that you know that when you die, you will go to heaven. You'll go to Jannah. But the only thing that I have that I can be proud of, when I was driving, I saw one Bengali on the street. I saw one Kenyan black guy walking in heat, and it was too hot in summer. If I have water in my car, I would stop and give them the bottled water. And I think that small thing that you have done to your fellow, God has rewarded you something big. Which I never imagined that, He will give me a big, not just big, but a great reward. Not in heaven, at least here. I was given a relief, and I was so thankful. So that's the story I have. The best advice that I could share with them, if they have this opportunity now, don't miss the opportunity, because just like what happened to me, what if I lost that opportunity? What if I not met this Abdulaziz, brother Abdulaziz, who made dawah for me and pulled me to the mosque? What if? So if they're listening and they heard my story, before they will feel sorry for their souls, better if they have the opportunity to go to the masjid, to go to dawah, just to try to listen and, feel for their hearts, because the hearts will never betray them. And also, you can also pray to God. Guide me to the right path. Because when I was still not a Muslim, this is what always I am praying. I said, maybe it's not invalid if I will ask to God to guide me, because at that time when I already saw the pamphlets and the Quran was already open to me, I said that the light was already given to me. Then why not leverage on that, and why not seek the truth? Because when you read, you're humans. You have your intelligence. And God has given us wisdom to understand what is wrong and what is right. So, if you already heard the dawah about becoming a Muslim, why not approach the brothers? Check, evaluate, analyze, see for yourself. Because there's a big difference between a Muslim and another religion. Because you can see, you can feel, especially in Ramadan, when people are going to the masjid and going for the fasting, this is already the truth, and it's already a bold thing that you can see. Now, don't be blind. Don't be blind of the reality. You already see and you can feel how holy it is to become a Muslim. Because when you miss that opportunity, it's like you miss so many things in your life. Because now I'm 52, I said to myself, what lies ahead of me? What is the legacy that I will leave if I will die in this world? Can I say, just this guy, he worked in this company, but what contribution did you share with your fellow men for them to save as well? So it's like you have to share with them what is that blessing that you have received from Allah. And by sharing it with others, they would also understand. And they, at least if they hear the story, they will not be blinded, just like what had happened to me as well during that time that I missed so many things.